These are one of the hardest checkmate you can find in chess in just one move. But there is just one problem. Some of you will accuse me of cheating. Puzzle number 1. White is able to check in just one move here. But there is something I need to tell you. The only way that you will find actually the solution for this is if you know what was the last move that black played. Without knowing this, there is no way you can find the solution here. Because look at this. You may think about a move like knight check. The king hides on the corner, so there is no checkmate. How about this knight? Same story. The king hides on the corner anyway, and you have this problem with everything. You may think that this rook actually can come and check here. Same problem. The king is hiding on the corner. And the point of this exercise is to make you think outside the box. What is the move that black played that allows you to checkmate in one move? I gave you enough time, I think, by talking so much. And I'm sure that some of you found the answer already. The only way to checkmate in this position is if black last move was to push e5, which allows you to do the French move again, the en passant. So he played this move. Now what you can do is just take. And this is checkmate. As crazy as it looks, because this bishop now is checking the king. It's also controlling the square. This pawn cannot take the pawn because the rook is spinning. In this position, I'm gonna tell you straight away, this is one of the hardest one move checkmate that I saw. But when you'll see the answer, you'll be like, yeah, that was an easy one. But right now, it's just extremely hard in our brain, and I don't know why, to visualize this. Look at the white pieces. White has everything to checkmate. Look at these two bishops controlling these two diagonals. Two knights here. The first move that came to your mind, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. This is the move that basically I saw first. I was like, you know what? This is checkmate. What is the problem with that? And then I realized for some reason we don't see that there is this spin. I don't know why. Don't ask me. We need to ask a doctor maybe. I don't know. But no, you cannot checkmate in one move like this. That would be too easy. How about taking here? What happens after this move? Because some of you may think this is checkmate. No, this is not. Because the queen can come back and cover. So what is the move? You may think about checking like this. Is this a checkmate? Of course it's not. And this is the reason why this puzzle is hard. Let me tell you something about one move checkmates. The reason why they're hard is because we tend to forget that we have pieces that can cover the checks. Even if that piece actually is taken on the next move. Yeah, but that's two moves. Because here, it looks like a checkmate. I don't see where this king can go, but for some reason, we forget that the queen can come back on d6. And that's not a checkmate. So this move as well doesn't work. What other checks? Remember, you have to screen the checks. So you tried this, you tried this, you tried this. What else? Is there something that we're missing? How about moving the knight here? Well, it blocks actually this bishop. That's the problem. If you put the knight here, now I can take this one. Because this bishop actually doesn't protect it anymore. I think it's time to give you the answer here. The checkmate in one move is to move the queen here, which can seem extremely weird. And that's the reason why you couldn't find it. And if you're thinking that this bishop can take the queen, no, there is a pin, right? But the reason why the queen was here, to take the queen here, we just can't understand. We just struggle to actually try to find the answer because the bishop was already attacking the queen here. You're thinking in your head, you know, we're problem solvers, right? And our brain just goes, you know, far ahead. And you're thinking, okay, if this bishop is controlling this square, he's also controlling this and this and this and this. So you kind of eliminated straight away that this queen could go to any of these squares. But no, because what we should have seen straight away is that this bishop was never threatening the queen because of this pin. So we can put the queen on any of these squares if we want to. And this is how you come up to the solution, being simply retreating the queen, giving a check, and this king has no square. This knight controls this, and this bishop controls this. Game over. This is where you're gonna accuse me of cheating, maybe. I tell you why. Pretty much all the moves that you play will be a checkmate in one move for white. But this is not what I want you to do. What I want you to do is to find the only move that white can play that does not checkmate black. I give you a few seconds to try and find it. Because think about this. If you go with the knight here, that's checkmate. You go with the knight here, that's checkmate. You move the rook, that's checkmate. Because you may think right now, no, it's not, because the rook can take the bishop that is checking the king. No, because there is a pin. So that's why I'm asking you. In this one, I have never seen so many checkmate in one move. This one is how to not checkmate in one move. And there is only one possible move, by the way. I think I gave you enough time. This is one move exercises. The only problem that we have is that you should have seen there is a discovery. If the rook moves, this is a check. But the problem is, it may be a checkmate because when the rook moves, this one is not able to actually eliminate the threat, and this is checkmate. We do not want to checkmate. I know it's weird, it feels so weird, but it opens up, your mind and your vision. It's amazing to do this kind of things to improve in chess. So now you come back to the beginning. You want to be able to take this bishop when this one moves. And now you may find the answer because there is this pin. So you can never move this one. So what do you have to do? The move that you have to play has to destroy this pin. So that's how you find the only move is rook c6, because the rook is intercepting basically the connection between these two pieces, which means when you give this check with the bishop, this rook now is able to actually take, and this is not a checkmate in one move. This one is a little bit easier. White checkmates in one move. But the first thing that we think about in this kind of positions is these two pawns. We see them here, we get super excited, and we're thinking, let's go. I'm gonna get a queen, and it's gonna be easy, right? This is not a checkmate, because the bishop can move. So doing a queen doesn't work, or a rook. But how about taking? Because I know that you love knight under promotions, yeah? It's kind of classy to checkmate your friend with a knight like this. You can do a knight if you want. That's a check. Is this a checkmate? No, it's not. There is the d6 square. So it doesn't work. What is it? Maybe you can do a bishop or a queen even faster, even stronger. No, the d6 square. So now you go back in your mind and you start thinking, okay, what is the escape that this king has? He can escape here, here, and here. So I need to play a move that controls this, this, and this. And then he will be checkmate. So now you're thinking about removing this knight because there is a check, right? Is this a checkmate? And some of you are thinking it is, but it is not, because again, we can cover with the rook, so it doesn't work. And for some reason, we miss these moves. I don't know why. So removing the knight here is not the answer, because removing this knight was kind of smart, because you're removing it, which means the rook controls now this, the bishop controls this, and yes, the king. If the rook wasn't here, basically, the king would be checkmate, right? But no, the rook can cover. So this is not the move. Here, to find the move, you need two parameters. You need to control this and this and this. That's the first parameter. The second one is that you don't want this rook to be able to cover the check with the bishop. And you come to the conclusion that the only move that you can find in this position is actually removing this knight here. The rook cannot come on c4 anymore. The bishop is checking, the rook is controlling this. This is a beautiful checkmate. This one is pretty easy, but for some reason, and I can't tell you, I can't help you on this. White checkmates in one move. But okay, the first thing that comes to mind is checking with the rook, because it's easy. There is a bishop here. You know what is good with this kind of exercises? It improves your board vision. If you start doing this every day, you're gonna start really seeing. You know, sometimes when you hang a piece because, it's just too far away from you and your vision, yeah, this kind of exercises will help you. First question, does the king has any square he can go to? No, he doesn't, right? The rook is controlling this column. He cannot come here because there is the knight. He cannot come here, there is this knight. He cannot come here because there is the bishop. So the king cannot move. And this is the thing that you should have seen straight away. I would say in puzzles, ask yourself two things. What are the checks? Let's start screening the checks. And then, does the king has any square he can go to? And I need to control them, basically. Here, the king cannot move. The only thing you need is giving a check. If you give a check, it's a checkmate. And here, the checkmate is playing queen c4. But now let me tell you something. There is something weird, is that we don't see very easily some sort of diagonal checks actually with the queen. If basically it was, you know, a move here or here, it would be way easier than having a diagonal one, but that was a super easy one. And the last one now, white checkmates in one move again. The first thing that comes to your mind, you see this, and you see this, right? If you take here and you do a queen, let's say, I can simply take. So this is not a checkmate in one move. If you basically promote to a queen, a rook, or a bishop, it's not going to be a checkmate in one, so there is not even point talking about it. If you do a knight, is this a checkmate? It's not, because you can simply escape on f7, or you can also take the knight with the queen. So this promotion basically on c8 doesn't work. Also, you will see that the queen is actually controlling this square, so it kind of never works. The problem is, this square, you see straight away, is not defended, which means whatever piece you transform and you get here is gonna get eaten by the king. So this is not a checkmate in one move. Now, can this king move? That's the first question. The only square he can go to is f7. So we need to give a check and also control this. And then it's a checkmate. I left the easy one for the end because I was thinking, you know, you can get tired. We may make a mistake. Let's say you have like very little time and you may think, you know what, I just do a queen. That's not a checkmate in one move because again, you missed that he can cover with the queen. The only way in this position to get a checkmate in one move is to use what we call a double check in chess. You push, you do a knight, the knight is checking, and by pushing, the rook is checking. That's a double check. And there is absolutely no way, because look, even covering with the queen doesn't do anything, because this one is still checking. So that would still be a checkmate. I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you on the next one.